Hey guys, Ken Smith Fishing. So a couple things here. Actually got all this footage from the Bassmaster Classic Expo. So a couple things I think we're interested in. First off, remember we had the conversation with Nick from Mercury Racing Propeller. He's the Mercury Racing Propeller manager. And we talked about props. And I had a question pop into me that I didn't know the answer to, and that was, how do you change pitches on props and elevation? Is there kind of a formula to that? And there is a formula to that. So I bumped into Nick. Actually, I sought Nick out, but found Nick at the expo and asked him that question. So he's going to answer that question for us in this video. And then two other things. First peek at the new Triton. And I got to tell you, I was impressed with the look of the boat. Now, the interesting thing to me, and I think we're going to see more and more of this in the future, is it's the first boat I've seen where they have set up the console to have side-by-side graphs. Now, it was so crowded I could not tell if those are 10 or 12-inch graphs. They look like 10-inch graphs to me, but they may be side-by-side 12s. So if anybody knows the answer to that, one of you guys do. I looked online and couldn't find it. Please post in the notes below whether those are 10s or 12s, and I'll pin that note so everybody can see it when you pull this video up. So, you know, this is one of those deals where I think eventually most boats are going to go this way. We're going to slowly, if not fast, lose analog gauges. You guys know I'm a big fan of the analog gauge, but I think this is the direction, because when you start piling 2 graphs, and I know some guys are running 3 graphs at the dash, then you start losing space to have those digital gauges. So unless we go down, which is a thought, or even further out sideways with our analog gauges, I think you're going to see more and more boats start doing something like this. You know, I'm using the dual stack, but this one's neat where you can mount them in the dash, and I actually think it's cool. And it also suggests to me that the death of Triton was greatly exaggerated, or maybe what did, I can't remember the quote, but you know, where my death has been greatly exaggerated. So it looks like Triton's steady making boats, which you kind of had a feeling, I believe, when they renewed when they renewed Jacob Wheeler, that wasn't going away. So I believe Jacob's still on a Triton, and they're not going away, I don't think. And the other thing is the new Ranger 520R boat. And I've got just a little bit of footage. Again, you know, what's a boat look like when 27 people are standing on it, but I got a little bit of footage for you guys for that boat as well. And at the end of this video, 2 really big tournaments coming up, including what I believe will be the largest amateur bass fishing tournament in the history of bass fishing. So stick around at the end of this. I'm going to update you on that tournament at Rayburn and a big tournament coming up on Texoma as well. Hey guys, welcome to the Bassmaster Classic Expo. We're sorry for the back noise. You guys know Nick. Nick's with Mercury Racing. He's the performance propeller manager. So I tracked him down because I had a good question, and it's a question I've experienced a little bit of this with. So it's a prop question. This guy runs back and forth in elevation, like 5,000 feet. Now in this case, and we're going to talk more general, but he says he's running a 21 819 Pro Phoenix with a 200 Mercury 4-stroke, 23 Fury, and running the jack plate up 3.25. But he's having trouble when he gets to altitude and then when he drops back down. So talk about what altitude does to the motor and to the prop, and then how you adjust for that.
Sure. So especially on a naturally aspirated engine, if he's running 3,000 feet above, typically you got to step down 1 inch of pitch compared to sea level. And then after that, every 1,500 feet, add an additional inch of pitch.
So it becomes exponential.
Correct.
Okay.
So 3,000 is 1 inch, 4,500 is 2 inches, 6,000 is 3 inches of pitch.
Perfect. So that's easy math then.
Yeah.
So if I'm running a 25 pitch at sea level and I go to 5,000 feet, I'm only going to drop 1.
5,000 would be 2.
Oh, that's right. Because,
yeah.
Okay. So is there a point above sea level where it doesn't matter? I mean, is it?
Everywhere is different.
Okay.
You know, it all depends. And a lot of the guys run the Verados, which are supercharged. It doesn't have as much of an impact.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Speaking of which, we're going to go check out some motor. So
So there's your question. There's your question answered on elevation. You know, in Texas, we vary anywhere from 100 feet to 300 feet of air. Not much elevation change, but we got guys all over. So thanks for that question. We thought we were here. We're going to check out. So directly across from Nick is the new Triton, and they just unveiled the new Ranger. I don't know that we'll be able to look at it, but I'm going to walk you through the crowd and show you what I'm seeing as I enjoy my Michelob Ultra. So this is a 21 XRT Triton. He's drooling on it.
I like your YouTube.
Thank you, sir. We got a future owner right there. You got to turn your hat around backwards up. You're going to drive this thing. It'll blow your hat off, I promise you. So there you go. That's good looking. Really good looking. And then here's the new Ranger that they've been teasing about, and we're not going to be able to get a very good look at it. So we're going to get one of the very first looks at it.
They changed the design so it rides like a fireplace. I want to see it. I want to feel it for myself. There he is. That's the man right there.
The cap is completely different. I'm going to say we might be over the maximum capacity right here.
The C model.
Yeah, good.
But
I still want to look at this stuff, you know.
Why'd you look
It's
at me
pretty.
when you said that?
Huh?
I mean, folks, you said that.
You know, anyway, I know that's hard to see, but
I would argue,
it looks pretty set up like a seaboat. Oops, sorry about the finger in the frame.
So I'm thinking about if I do get a boat, I'm going to order it in October.
Boom, boom.
Ken Smith Fishing.
How you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. I like it.
Love your video.
Thanks, sir. I love that coloring on that.
Okay, so let's talk about them in order of what's coming up first. This is, I didn't know this, by the way, but this is the third year that the Toby Keith Foundation is putting on a bass tournament at Texoma. It's September the 11th. I don't have any details about it, but I'll post a link in the description below where you can go check that out. So if you want to go up there, I don't know that Toby's going to be there, but you got to kind of think if it's his foundation, he might be hanging around, maybe singing a little music. I don't know. I'm sure it's in the details below. Then the other one is the Brandon Belt Tournament, the first week of February next year. And I'm giving you guys a heads up this far in advance because this tournament I'm almost certain will sell out. I've been involved with it a little bit because Spark's interested in getting involved with it. The list of sponsors and the money in the sponsors is staggering. It's going to be at Castle Boykins. It's going to almost look like an expo. There's going to be vendor tents set up. They're going to limit the field. It's a multiple day tournament. My understanding, now don't hold me to this, and by the way, so go to brandonbeltfishing.com. I'll post a link below if you want to go check it out and find out all the details on it. But my understanding is first place in this tournament will be $100,000 cash money. I also think I've heard that there's going to be a Bass Cat draw boat. Pull a name out of a hat for a Bass Cat. Now that may be the big bass. I may have misunderstood that. All the details are forthcoming. But I'm forewarning you guys all this because I believe this tournament's going to sell out. And according to Brian at Ross Motorsports, who is the tournament director, they're going to open entries on this October the 1st. So if you're thinking you want to fish this, I would strongly urge you to find your partner. I believe the entry fee is going to be $700-ish, but I would get my partner nailed down right now and find out how you can enter that tournament the day that they open it, because I believe it's going to open. I I think they're limiting it to 300 teams, which sounds like a lot. And again, this is all stuff I've heard, I've not read. But even then, they're leaving it open to everybody. So you're going to have pros from all over the place coming down there, because that's a lot of money and it's going to be a big deal. If you don't know who Brandon Belt is a professional baseball player, grew up in the Lufkin area, and now is a big league, big player with the San Francisco Giants. So this should be a lot of fun. I'm sure there's going to be other sports personalities there. Surely we got a Houston Astro down there that wants to come up there and fish against a San Francisco Giant, but we'll see. I think there's some football players coming. I'm pretty sure there'll be a couple of basketball players. Greg Ostertag, I'll be real disappointed if you don't come up there and try to beat those football and baseball players. So this should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. A couple of other notes, by the way. You guys know Waterland Optics has been a really big supporter of mine. Since they came around, they come to you from the same folks who make sense, and it's 6 cents. And I've had a KEN 10 code, which gives you a 10% discount on Waterland Optics. They've just upped the game on that. It's now a KEN 15 code with 15% off, and they've also got a really cool new pair of glasses you need to check out. I'll post a picture of them right there. Those are cool looking. I've got a set on order. They may not look great on my great big noggin, but I'm really curious about them. So KEN 15 will get you 15% off there. Also, don't forget about that hook package I talked about a couple of weeks ago at 6 cents. It's about it's a $50 value. It's on sale for $34.99, or the package is $34.99, and you can use the code KEN10 there and get another 10% off. So it's about $50 worth of hooks for about $30. Really good premium hooks there. And you know what, while I'm talking about sponsors, so KEN 15 at Waterland, KEN 10 at 6 cents, and Tackle Warehouse continues to be a huge supporter of my channel. And by you guys shopping through the link below, you can see the link right there in the description. That tells them that you support Ken Smith Fishing, and that is super helpful. You guys know I don't do this for a living, but this is time consuming, and every penny helps. And when those guys step in, all three of those great sponsors help me out. It's a big deal to me. So more good footage coming up for you guys. We're doing the Seaguar video this afternoon, so you guys will see that next week. Talking about the construction fluorocarbon line and why. And by the way, I've got another video coming up about some of the cool stuff that was announced at ICAST. But one of the things is Seaguar's coming out with a very affordable fluorocarbon line. So we're going to talk today from that line to InvizX to AbrazeX, all the way up to the gold label leader line, which is expensive, and talk about what's different in those different lines. Probably stuff I should know. I've truthfully just kind of settled on InvizX for years, and I want to talk to Brian about why I should be using other lines for different applications, and the differences in the construction and the differences in durability and stretch and all those things. So stick around for that, and I think you'll find that really interesting. Thanks for tuning in, guys. More good stuff coming for you again next Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks.